Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using White Newman, a sacred animal tarot created by Alba BG. It's a liminal 11 deck. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. There's some websites here on the back. I thought there was a Colette Baron Reed website, but I didn't see it when I was opening the book and all that, so I don't know if I missed it, because I could have swore it was there. But if you look up Colette Baron Reed on Google or something, or a search engine, I'm sure you'll find them very easily. Okay. What do we have for Aries? Ooh. Who had that card? I don't know. One of the other readings, it was one of the water signs, started out with the Seven of Cups. Might have been Scorpio, not sure. But I'm noticing that. So if you're dealing with a Scorpio or you have somebody who's very passionate, very emotionally driven, this might also connect with that reading. Why are we putting up more cards? Which is fine. It's fine. I'm not going to whine about it, even though I did. A lot of, somebody has control issues. There's control issues here. Something with control issues. Okay, so let's pull the energy in here so we don't get... You are dealing with some... There's control issues here. I keep getting control issues. I don't think it's you. In the sense of, like, imposing these control issues. Aries is kind of more free. There's boundaries, like, don't lie to me, do it the right way, but, you know, you can change it, just make sure it gets done right. And if you do it, if you screw something up, tell me, like, be honest about things. That's kind of like, if Aries has rules, honesty is the rule. Tell me the truth, and don't sit on the truth. Tell me it when it happens. There's a lot of energy here with this. I'm not happy with something, I get that, and there's something about boundaries, control issues, trying to work things out, trying to be more compatible with the conversation styles I'm dealing with. Oh, I feel like that's a nice way to say. I feel like I'm trying to nicely say I'm trying to deal with other people's BS. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is like not only a work situation, but more than likely a corporate thing. Kind of like you got to be nice, you got to be palatable, you got to be likable. You're still not going to put up with BS, but it's kind of like the way I have to say things might be a little bit of an aggravation. Maybe this is a part of that control energy I have to deal with. It's kind of like instead of going to somebody directly and being like, this is wrong, we need to fix it, I got to do it in an email, and I have to address things in a certain way, and I have to go through the chain of command, and I'm like, it's just so wasteful, and it's annoying. Something like, because I feel like there's tension here, like, you know, the way we're doing this causes more waste than anything else. Although there's a political system at play here is what I keep getting. Sometimes those processes are not for effectiveness, but for people to have more ability to play games and to get manipulative advantages on things. People play these things and they put like a process in place to get a advantage, to get a political advantage on things. And I feel like maybe you're already seeing through that, or maybe you're now seeing through that. Because I get like there's energy here where you're appreciated, but I also get like people want to control you. Somebody's trying to control this. There's definitely a control thing going on here. Even these two cards, which are usually compatible with Aries, somebody else has control. They come off as... I feel like they're coming off more as like we just kind of go as we go. But I'm getting like there's energy behind this where somebody else is pulling the strings. These aren't bad cards typically. But that's what I'm getting for this. Like things just seem to keep moving. I feel like there's a lot of like, you know, this is moving, that's moving. Things keep going forward. Not everything makes sense, but it's all going somewhere. The truth about where it's leading is not always apparent. There's a lot of like, you know, hidden motives going on here, whatever the situation is. This is tense a little bit, especially for Aries, because you're very much trying to go with things. You're trying to work with the situation. In the beginning, there was some control issues here. Um, Somebody who's they got that silver tongue thing going on there. I keep thinking silver tongue devil. I take it with a grain of salt. There's a very like, I don't know, it's a prickly energy sort of. It's weird. Um, Prickly in the sense of like they will shut you down or they will cut you off from the situation, and it's kind of like somebody else has control here and it's annoying. They're very good at saying what they want to say. They do believe in what they're doing in the sense of like they think the way they handle it and what's working out, they do think that they're right. Um, Take that with a grain of salt. They believe in what they're doing. They think that they have every right to do it that way and that they're doing it the right way. Um, there is no one right way, by the way, but they feel like theirs is the right way. So let's just go that way with it. This is something you've gotten used to working with, and it's kind of like when you work against this person or you try to do it differently than they want, they create problems. And especially if this is a work situation, a career situation, I can't let this person become a problem. I can't let this person hold me back. So I have to work with it so I can keep thriving. There's a lot of tension here. I keep feeling it. It's kind of it's building. The thing is, I'm trying to make peace with it. I don't understand what they're doing. And I'm like, the truth I feel like is being hidden. And I don't like that. But I'm trying to make peace with it at the same time because I just feel like the more I try to find the truth, the more difficult things become. And it's kind of like if it's not going to serve me, if it's not going to work out, I'm trying to find more of a strategic way to get through this. And I'm accepting like I can look for the truth all I want, but there's too much going on here where I can't seem to break through that. And I seem to understand that. There's not enough people here that are also interested in the truth. That's something you're definitely interested in. The other person here seems to kind of play that, but I don't feel like you would agree that they're looking in the same direction. You're balancing it out. You're doing well. I feel like this situation makes me physically ill because I don't like how it works. So for some of you, I feel like you might be getting physically ill. Maybe you feel physically weak or you're getting headaches, maybe nauseous a lot. I feel like I get nauseous during certain meetings because I'm just like, this is so much ridiculousness, and it just feel like my voice is not heard. And I feel like if I say something, it's just twisted into something else. Okay. Is this, like, where are we going with this? Because, like, it's going better, but I'm like, how do we get there? How do we change this? Like, how does this go more Aries way? This is, like, feeling heavy. The Moon card, it's showing up twice on the dice and at your ending point. And then you get the Four of Swords. Healing comes in twice, too. It was on the cards here. So we need this to go more your way, because this, I feel like the beginning part of this reading at least was trying to like point out what's already happening. If that's hitting with you, they're saying this is physically making you ill. We got to do something different. This isn't working. So we got to make a departure, and we got to kind of make this more work to your advantage. So if you're going to stay with this situation, we got to step back and just like deal with what we're in control of. We got to disconnect from people who are more toxic from us, or at least find a way to disconnect from their energy as much as possible. I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna. There's a book called I Can Mend Your Broken Heart. It is geared towards romantic relationships, but I use it for all different types. You don't have to be romantically involved to get the benefit out of that one. And you don't have to read the whole book. You can just use the exercises. I would recommend using them in order, but do what you got to do. Bring down that energy, disconnect from this person. That's a big piece, because that energy, you might be kind of connecting into that a little bit too much, and it may be making you physically ill. We got to make this work more to your advantage. We got to find a better way to strategize from this. And disconnecting from what they want, disconnecting from the whole worry about what's going on here, holding to your truth might be the first step, because I feel like we need to re-stabilize this at your advantage. There are other people here who do like you and do like what you're doing, but I feel like they're kind of playing the game here, and they're like, yeah, I don't want the wheel to turn against me. They got that the 10 of Major Arcana, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and they don't believe it's going to go in their favor. And then they got the Knight of Cups, where this person might be a couple people who actually like you, but they're like, just because I like you doesn't mean I can align myself with you, because I don't want to be a target. I don't want to be a target, and there's people here manipulating a situation, and they want it to look the way they want it to look so they can do what they want to do. You have other people here who agree with you, but they're like, I'm not going to align myself with you. There's a lot of like a tangled mess here that just seems to be an issue. The Eight of Wands is usually speed and travel, but this one has a kind of like a tangled up mess that things are moving very quickly in a lot of different directions, and there's a lot of confusion. I feel like it's purposeful confusion. Back yourself off from some of this connection. Back yourself off from things that you can't fix and can't change. I feel like I need to block myself off from certain things, like don't deal with certain things. Try not to be involved with certain projects or things where it's just going to drive you crazy. The question is, can you thrive in this environment, or do you need to think of a change? Because I'm getting like, there's a lot of like restriction here. And it's making peace with what you don't know. Trying to not find out why is this and why is that. And making peace with that. Kind of like, there's only so much I can have control of. This is more of a toxic, it does feel a little bit toxic. At least, maybe not toxic all the way around, but at least for what you're used to and how you want to live life, it could be toxic for you. The Star card reversed and the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like they need to detach from this situation in some respect. Can you detach emotionally from this enough to where you can still be at peace with it? Or do you have to go somewhere else? I feel like they're saying you got to make that decision for yourself. I feel like that's what this reading is about. They're trying to highlight what's going on here and how it's physically affecting you. And I don't feel like the situation is in your control. The question is, can you make peace with it enough and center on the 3 cups that are working in your favor, and kind of like, you know what I can't fix, what I can't deal with, what I can't have an effect with, I'm at peace with that. I'm going to leave that there. I'm just going to stay away from it, and I'm just going to center on what I do like. What do you like of this situation, and how important is that to you? Can you center on that enough to let that last cup just live there in a way that you're just like, I don't like it, but I'm not gonna, and I'm just making peace with that. It just is what it is. Or is that 1 cup that's out of balance of the 4 cups there, that's what the 4 cups is, like that one you want that never seems to show up, it never seems to go into the land of honesty where you want it to be. Is that too strong for you to be at peace here? And I feel like that's what this reading is saying. Like, you need to make that decision. Sooner is better than later. Which can you do? If you're going to try to make peace with it, go through the thought, go through the process, try to center on what you like, see if it works. If it works, cool, you're fine. Just keep going back to that, keep revisiting that, keep making sure that's how this is going to be, so you can like pull yourself into a place where you can survive through this. If you can't, start looking at your options, start deciding what those options are, and then just looking at your options and deciding what they actually are, what's actually doable, will start moving you out of this energy. Okay, so I don't know. That's an interesting way, because like it does fit for like Aries for me, in the sense of like you guys are very strategic and you try to deal with what you can, but it's kind of like if the commander is somebody that you don't believe in and you're one of the like the soldiers, I just feel like this becomes more and more difficult. It's kind of like, can I just let the commander do what they want to do, and I can just do what they want and just not overthink it and just let it be and just do what I need to do and just not participate in that way? Can I do that, or is that going to cause me a different problem? Is it possible? Or do I have to leave this unit and find something else and go somewhere else? Those are my options. Can I make peace with it, or do I have to go? That's what this reading is supposed to take you to. Because I feel like they're saying it's probably going to get a little bit more heavy because there's a control issue here. So before it gets heavier, if you can make peace with it, you'll be fine. If you can't make peace with it, they're like, you need to think of options. Because I feel like for a lot of you, this is making you physically ill. All right, and so I don't end up repeating this whole reading again. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, at gmail.com. It's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. It's down there. Look down in the description. If you'd like to send me a donation or anything like that, that's also down there. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a great day.